Hello, I'm Oscar Burton, and I'd like to welcome you to the first in the SPS seminar series of 2013 academic year. With us today we have Natalie Fenton, Professor of Media and Communications at Goldsmiths University of London. She sits on the board of Hacked Off, who've gained a lot of press coverage recently,
Indeed,
if that's the best way to put it, and has come in today to lecture us.
I'm going to talk about mediated public spheres. The problem of politics and the dream of democracy is the title of the paper. It's actually not got anything to do with the work around media reform and Hacked Off, but it's got a lot to do with the other work I do around the internet and radical politics. So this is really looking at ways in which the internet has been described and talked about as being conducive to a new form of left politics and radical politics because of its decentralised and horizontal form of communication, sort of complying with or being associated with the types of politics that are emerging through the likes of Occupy movement, for example. Okay.
So just a little bit about yourself. How did your interest in this originally begin?
I've been a political activist all my life, so it came very naturally to me to actually be involved in my research around things to do with politics. So all of the work that I do is sort of critically engaged with what it means to be political and what that politics might mean in contemporary societies in different contexts. So that automatically kind of led me into doing media reform work, which is one side of the equation, but that focuses mostly on the mainstream media. I'm also interested in those kind of alternative politics and grassroots politics because I've always been involved in campaign groups and how they emerge from the bottom up and what that means in a mediated world, in a heavily mediated society.
Okay. So the talk you're giving today, how is that relevant to not only us as students, but also the wider public?
The talk I'm giving today is really concerned with how a new left politics might emerge and what critical thinking can contribute to that. Where are we going to get, if we've come out of a massive crisis, we're in a massive financial crisis, and that's the moment when you would expect alternative ideas to come to the fore, different ways of doing things. There's been a complete sort of desert in terms of, well, how else might we think of capitalism? Maybe there are other systems, maybe we want to think of other things. There's no ideas that have flooded in to fill that gap. I think it's our responsibility as theorists and academics to actually have those ideas, to start thinking in those terms. So this talk today is really about, what are we doing to counter this neoliberal rationality that seems to have flooded everything that we do and every which way that we think, so that we can allow a different and more challenging left politics to emerge. Okay.
And have you got a framework for that?
No.
I guess that's part of the purpose of the talk, is to encourage people to think for themselves about what might be the best.
There's starting points that I think are very useful, and I would like to put inequality at the heart of that and a strive for equality at the heart of it. I think if you do that and you talk about redistribution as at the real centre of that politics rather than profit, then you start from an entirely different premise. And sadly, that has slipped off a left-wing politics in all sorts of ways. So we need to put that right back at the heart of it.
Okay. Thank you very much.